Guys, it's Reborn X. Just want to wish y'all happy New Year's and also share some good news with you guys, man. My Del Sol, all the hard work and all that is starting to pay off. You know, we haven't officially reached our power goal yet, but the car is making really good power. And who knows, I might keep it here for a little bit, but eventually I'm going to switch over to race gas or maybe E85 to reach that power goal. All right. But let me go ahead and give you guys a quick rundown and of the numbers and all. And matter of fact, I'm just going to show you guys the graphs. All right. In front of me, I have two graphs, as you can see. The first one, the one here right here on the left, is the first time the car got dynoed. As you look down below, it tells you the green line is the torque and the blue is horsepower. On here, the car actually made more torque than power, which was good. But as you can see, the numbers weren't that impressive because VTEC didn't kick in on this run. So the car made roughly about, what is this, 110, 125, 150. So it made roughly about, I think, 160 horsepower and then about 175 foot-pound of torque. Okay, and that is at 4,800 RPM, which is a really good range to be making, you know, that kind of power with no VTEC. But then just recently, a few days ago, I got a re-dynoed again. I worked out VTEC, everything was working fine. I even go ahead and got my bungs welded on my valve cover. I put these new Vibrant lines on here and all that with the new catch can, the Vibrant catch can, which was about 150 bucks. My old catch can is still sitting here, which I will move shortly. But yeah, that's all I did. I didn't really do anything to the car, anything different. My setup is pretty much already good for the number I'm trying to reach. So all I had to do was really fix VTEC, and after I did that, look at that, the numbers, man, really like almost double. So right here at 5,500 RPM, the car made, let's see, 5,500 RPM, it made, let's see, what is that, 220, 250. So it made about roughly about 260 at 5,500 RPM. And then it made about 270 foot-pound of torque. No, wait, I'm sorry, I got those flipped. So it made about 270 horsepower and then about 260, I think it is, so 265 foot-pound of torque at 5,400 RPM. And where all the power is all right here at higher RPM. As you can see at 6,400 RPM, that's where all the power is. All right, as you can see, the horsepower is at 325. All right, 325. And then the torque is at, what is that, 220, 250, 275. So roughly, I'm thinking about, what is it, like 270, I think it is. Roughly about 265, 270 foot-pound of torque. I think it is at 6,400 RPM. And when I tell you this baby rips, it rips. Just yesterday, I had it out on the road, and it was a little wet. And first gear, I had no traction. Second gear, no traction. I throw it down to third, and all of a sudden, boost kicked in, and I was like, damn, you know, she's such a fun car to drive right now. But I will need to get some better tires to be able to put the power down. And I also have to upgrade my suspension. All right. Just recently, I got new axle on both ends because the axle on the driver's side was leaking bad. The boot was torn, it was leaking. So I replaced those axle with my friend Marco. He gave me a hand on it. And we also replaced the upper control arms on both sides because they were a little worn out. All right. So all I have to do next is replace the hub, the wheel bearing on the passenger side, because the wheel bearing on this side, it's bad. It's making a whole lot of noise. It's actually irritating. So I'm gonna replace that side. I'm also just gonna replace the driver's side. You know, I've been told before, like Marco told me before, man, he's like, it's like a pair of shoes. Why have one new shoes and one old shoes on your foot? You know, so I'm gonna replace both of them as a pair. And then that's pretty much it. The car is pretty much done, man. There's really nothing much to do with it. As far as the engine wise, the car it feels very healthy. It runs good. I have no issue with it, no complaint. And I love the blow off valve, man. The thing sounds bad. I know it's not the original. It's not the what you call the official one, like the one that's made in USA. This is like a copy, made in China. This is a tile waste. It's a tile blow off valve from China. It's not like the one made in the United States, which costs like about $300. This is only a cheap one, but it sounds good, man. I love it. I'm loving the setup. It's pretty simple. Anybody can build it. And I've learned so much building this car that I can actually replicate the build on this car and do it for so much less. My buddy bought the Integra from me, and I'm going to help him build his car. And now I know where to cut corners at and how to save money and actually get parts for less. Not to mention that I do have some excess parts laying around. So, I'm going to help him out in that area to make sure that he get what he need. I won't have to spend a whole lot. But yeah, I've been lazy. I haven't hooked up this line yet. It's still sitting there, it's still kinked, and I still got the new line in the car. And I still haven't hooked up my gauges yet. The only one that's still hooked up, man, is just air fuel ratio. Still got to hook up the boost gauge and a water temp gauge. And as we walk in here, you can see the car is completely gutted. It's been like this for a while. But I recently had 2 steel plates welded. And I know I went crazy with that silicone stuff. But I had a plate welded underneath my seat on this side. And I did the same thing on that side. Just because the car is old, I just wanted to reinforce that area of it. Because it did have some rust. And I wanted to have this car as safe as possible. Spending a little $50 here and $100 here to make it reliable and safe. It's a small price to pay. All right. Yes, I also went ahead and installed the OEM steering wheel. I really hate it, but so far I haven't been able to find a hub to install my new steering wheel with, because it's a 5-hole steering wheel. The one that I ordered is for actually a boat, and it will not work on this car. So once the silicone thing dries, hopefully today, it's actually it feels pretty good. Once it dries, I'm gonna go ahead and install the carpet, bolt all my seats, and I'm gonna start fixing the interior up. All right, this is not meant to be a show car, but it's also not meant to be a complete track car. I want this baby to perform and look good. All right, once the interior is done, and then we're gonna do the exterior. The exterior is pretty rough. As you can see, this is the back end of the car. Some rust here, and the clear coat is, it's peeling off quite a bit. Not to mention all the scratches this baby got. But yeah, the exterior is gonna be the last thing I do. All right, I might even do suspension. Well, I'm probably gonna do suspension on wheels before I even do the exterior paint, just because it's gonna cost a little bit. I'm thinking about doing it myself, but it's just the time and the space to have it done. This is not an actual shop. This is actually my garage of my place. It's only a 2-car garage, and with all the toys I got for my kids in here, it's not really a whole lot of space to get that done. But I have purchased the stuff that I needed. This sandpaper are not probably gonna work. I'm gonna have to get some better ones. But I have all this paint and stuff here that I was gonna use on the car. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, 2019 is here, man, and I have a lot of plans for this car. Not to mention that I recently bought a B-Series motor. I might not swap that into this car, but hey, who knows? We might just swap it onto another car. All right, we don't know yet. I don't know yet. Don't know yet. But yeah, this is it, guys. All right, stay tuned. And if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. All right, and please consider giving this video a thumbs up, because it does take time to create, and I'm doing it for y'all. I hope you guys like it, enjoy it, and stay blessed. Peace out. Reborn X out.